So today we're going to be getting into another NBA topic of discussion that gets brought up and conversed almost every single year. And as you can probably already tell by reading the title of the video before you clicked on this, it concerns the NBA All-Star Game. Because every year, no matter who gets All-Star selections, it seems to be that there are people complaining that certain people got this award when they shouldn't have. While on the other side of this, you have a lot of complaints coming in from left and right about, say, a handful of NBA players who were quote-unquote snubbed from their first All-Star appearance when people believe they should have received it. And this point right here, guys, is where I really want to dive into for today's video. As today we are going to be going through the top players, in my opinion, that have the opportunity to make their first All-Star appearance in the 2021 NBA season. I'm really excited to get into today's video, but before we do, you guys know the drill. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds right now to go down below and subscribe. If this is your first time checking out the channel, go hit that button immediately. And if this is your second or third time around the channel and you still haven't done it, I truly don't know what you're doing. We're coming out with brand new NBA videos on a daily basis, you guys, covering trending topics, countdown videos, pretty much anything you can possibly think of. So I highly recommend going down below and joining the family. Also, while you're down there, if you can, don't forget to slap a like on the video as well if you are going to enjoy it. I really do appreciate all the support you guys give me. Thank you so much once again to each and every one of you. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first player we are going to be covering for today's video is one that I feel a lot of people thought got snubbed of an All-Star appearance last year, but if he can keep up the numbers he is putting up so far through the course of this season, there is no doubt in my mind he will be making his first All-Star appearance and might possibly even make a starting role. And if you have not caught on yet, yes, it is Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. I know Jaylen Brown has been receiving some recognition over the course of the season so far with the numbers he has been putting up, but I still feel like he is personally being underappreciated by the media, as so far this year he has been putting up averages of 27 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, while also shooting 44% from 3 so far. And like I already said, forget the question of if he's going to be an All-Star. I feel like this is inevitable at this point that he will make it this year. But if he can keep these numbers up, we seriously need to consider the fact of if Jaylen Brown will be a starter in the All-Star game this year. I do also know that his numbers probably wouldn't have been this high if Jason Tatum didn't have to quarantine for 10 to 14 days earlier in the season, but it still really doesn't matter to me. When someone is putting up numbers as good as Jaylen Brown has so far through the course of this season, these are too good to deny in terms of possibly giving him an All-Star starting appearance. Now, the second player we are going to be getting into for today's video is yet another player who a lot of people feel have been snubbed of an All-Star appearance over the course of the last 1 or 2 seasons, and it is McCollum with the Portland Trailblazers. Now, as I already said, a lot of people did feel like he should have been an All-Star over the course of the last 2 seasons, and in these 2 seasons, he was putting up relatively 21.5 points per game. But so far this season, we have seen some solid improvement from CJ's game all around, and it has opened up a lot of people's eyes in terms of if he should get his first All-Star appearance. And if you are wondering what this improvement has entailed, so far this year he has been averaging 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while also shooting 44% from 3 as well. And also, not to mention, while shooting 44% from 3, he is doing this while taking 11 attempts from behind the arc per game. I really don't care how you spin it. These numbers are ridiculous and they are All-Star worthy. The one way I could somehow see CJ McCollum not making his first All-Star appearance this year would be due to the injury he was diagnosed with over the course of the last week. Again, like I mentioned, I feel like these numbers from CJ McCollum are too good to not give him his first All-Star appearance, as it is well deserved with what he's been putting up so far. But it's sad to say, I would not be surprised if he somehow did not make the All-Star game. I don't know. I'm pulling through for him. Let's hope it happens. Next, we are going to be getting into a player who, on the other hand, has received a ton of recognition for his play over the course of the season so far, and it is Christian Wood of the Houston Rockets. Okay, let's all be honest here. With what we saw out of Christian Wood last year, we thought he was a solid all-around player and that he had a good future ahead of him, but I think we can all confidently say that nobody was expecting him to have the season that he has been putting together so far. As through 14 games so far in Houston this year, he has been putting up averages of 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist per game, which is just crazy for a player who has been on 6 different NBA teams in his 5-year career so far, while his numbers in every major statistical category have spiked up drastically over anything we've ever seen from this man before. I'm telling you, this is just personal opinion, but I would absolutely hate to see Christian Wood not get an All-Star appearance this year. He's obviously already one of the top candidates to win the Most Improved Player award this year, and I really do feel like he is one of the most deserving players to get an All-Star appearance out of all the people we are covering in today's video. But again, that's just me, you guys. Let me know what you think so far. Next up, we have another player that I feel a lot of you were probably expecting if you are a stat head like myself, and this is Collin Sexton with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's safe to say that Collin Sexton's numbers so far this year are speaking for themselves and why he would deserve an All-Star appearance, as so far he is putting up averages of 24.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game on 50% shooting overall and 44% from behind the arc, while also leading this Cleveland Cavaliers team to a record so far that many people were probably not expecting them to have. Collin Sexton is not one of those players that a lot of people feel have got snubbed of an All-Star appearance, as this is only his third NBA season, and his previous 2 seasons he only averaged about 17 and 21 points per game. But this year so far, he has obviously taken a step in the right direction in terms of being more of a leader for this team, as well as putting up the numbers to show for it. I don't know, you guys, it's going to be tough to make it to the All-Star game as a guard in the Eastern Conference. I can say that with confidence, but if anyone's going to do it, I'm hoping it's Collin Sexton. I'm pulling for him to make it through. Sticking on the topic of guards in the Eastern Conference, we are going to be moving into our next player of this countdown, and it is Malcolm Brogdon with the Indiana Pacers. Now, I feel like it's safe to say that Malcolm Brogdon's numbers so far this season are very comparable to Collin Sexton's. As we see so far, he has been putting up 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists per game while shooting 45% from the field and 40% from 3. Now, I also feel like it's safe to say that only one out of these 2 players that we just mentioned will actually make the All-Star game. Hell, maybe even neither of them will make it. But it's still something really interesting to think about in my opinion. Like, going into this NBA season, these 2 would not have been 2 of the first players I would think about for making their first All-Star appearance this season. So it honestly is really cool to see players like this kind of break out and put up numbers that not many people were expecting and do things that not many people were expecting as well. I don't know, you guys. All I'm saying is if either of these guards make it to the All-Star game from the Eastern Conference, don't say I didn't warn you with it. You know, we might as well stay on the topic of guards in the Eastern Conference as we are getting into our next player, which is Zach Lavine of the Chicago Bulls. Now, when I try to think of players who have been snubbed in their recent years from their first All-Star appearance, Zach Lavine is one of the first players to come to mind for me. As I'll show you here, so far this year, he has been putting up averages through 18 games of 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, shooting 51% from the field overall, as well as 42% from 3. While last season, his numbers were relatively the same, as he put up 25.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. I'm not gonna lie, with these numbers last year, I truly thought that Zach Lavine was going to be making his first All-Star appearance. And with this happening last year, and it pains me to say it, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Lavine somehow got snubbed again of not making the All-Star game this year. We'll just have to wait and see, you guys. Time will only tell, but I feel like there is so many more players coming into the conversation for the All-Star game this year. It's honestly crazy. And last but not least, you guys, for this video, we are going to be covering yet another player who is high in regards for winning the Most Improved Player award this season. And yes, it is Jerami Grant with the Detroit Pistons. Now, I believe for most of us, it was a complete shock to see Jerami Grant sign with the Detroit Pistons this offseason for a 3-year, $60 million contract, if I'm getting that correct. But it's very obvious that Jerami Grant went into this season thinking of the initiative of betting on himself, and that has paid him dividends, as so far this year, through 20 games with Detroit, he has averaged 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, while shooting 40% from 3 as well. And when you think about this, these are some all-around solid numbers from a player like Jerami Grant. And just to put it into reference, his season last year with Denver, he only averaged 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. And I also do know that a lot of people are making the comments and they're going to say, well, anyone can go to a team like Detroit and put up numbers like this, which, I mean, you're not wrong in a sense, but you also have to give credit where credit is due, in my opinion, and Jerami Grant definitely deserves more recognition than he has been receiving so far this year. I don't know, guys. I've definitely seen it as been a hot topic of if Jerami Grant is worthy of an All-Star appearance. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm really curious what you have to say. But in this countdown video that deserves their first All-Star appearance. I definitely know there's more borderline All-Star players out there than I listed in this video, and I know some people are going to be upset that I did not mention one of their favorite players, so please let me know down below, you guys. I read and reply to almost every single comment I get. But once again, you guys, if you are still here, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. We're coming out with brand new NBA content on a daily basis around here. It's been a fun season so far. We got a long way to go, and I'm really excited what the future of this channel holds. So once again, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys in the next video.